too high with nowhere to fall down to. Empathy around you, standing looking back. You heard it all before now, losing what you didn't know you had. Fearing what you want is nearing, but you're really trying to get away from it. Basic instincts overpowering, you still have this urge when this could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us. When this could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for This could be good enough for Fearing what you want is nearing, but you're really trying to get away from it. Basic instincts overpowering, you still have this urge when this could be good enough for us. Standing up too high with nowhere to fall down to. Empathy around you, standing looking back. You heard it all before now, losing what you didn't know you had. Fearing what you want is nearing, but you're really trying to get away from it. Basic instincts overpowering, you still have this urge. This could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us.
Wyatt Tinsley sends it to the outside. He can't get there. Kevin King is going to win the Barbizzo FTF Cup Series.
Into the lead. Bud gets wrecked in front of the pack. He saves it. 3-4 wide as they come to the white flag.
Here comes Vargas down on the apron. They are 5 wide. Ian Plash will win it at the line. Is this package? Oh, there goes Jordan Lopez Jr. That's your race leader. Caution flag is out.
Still no one willing to give up as they are going to be dead even off of the first chicane.
Oh, he saves it. What's going to happen here? Here comes the canvas. Oh, the canvas sends him. Get your foot there.
He's got it. He's got it.
Canvas is going to win. FTF.GG, in association with Core, welcomes you to the Core Summer Series, presented by SimRapMarket.com. Today, it's the FTF.GG 150, live from the virtual Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kansas. Welcome to the Flatlands. Jacob Pitts here with you. Glad to have you in for the race, for the pre-race show. We go from the Rock to the Flatlands, one of the oldest racetracks on the NASCAR circuit, to one of the newest. This track built just back in 2001, designed for speed, and it has delivered. Before NASCAR took the power out of the cars, well, it was pretty expected for drivers to be going 200 miles an hour around the racetrack. Tonight in the Gen 4 Cup cars, should be expecting speeds over 190 heading down into turn number 1 and turn number 3. But before we look ahead to tonight's action, let's take a look back at last week's From the Rock. And boy, oh boy, it proved that, well, even though the season is flying on by, track last week wasn't just a stupid boulder. It's the Rock.
Green flag is out. Racing is underway, and round 2 of the Core Summer Series presented by Simrat Market. The Carolina 120 presented by Eric Messer Photography is underway at the Rock, and immediately Travis Brown is going to wreck. I think that was going that he collected the cars around in turns 1 and 2 before we even get to the back straightaway.
Sean Butler is here and absolutely has pace to the middle of the corner. And all that saving from Blake McCandless is going to have to come into play here now. But Sean's just able to carve that corner so much better. He's going to get down to the inside. Doesn't quite have the run on McCandless. 2 laps to go from Rockingham.
Shades of Johnny Benson in the 2003 Fall Cup Series race here at the Rock. McCandless trying to pull the fuel strategy, save and go. Now he's back on the gas pedal. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Lap and a half to go. Butler, McCandless fighting for the race lead.
Still right here. Crossover move coming from McCandless. He's down to the inside right now. Just doesn't have that straightaway speed.
Doesn't have it. There goes Butler, clear by 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, and that should be it. Can McCandless hang on to a podium spot? He'll roll out of the throttle. Shieldhouse will make the pass. Coming out of turn 4, LaPrade is going to get it there as McCandless runs out of fuel in turn 4 on the last lap, and Sean Butler will go to victory lane as winner of race 1 of the Carolina 120 presented by Eric Messer Photography at Rockingham Speedway. For the second race of our doubleheader, green flag is out from Barney the Flagman. Race number 2 in the Carolina 120 presented by Eric Messer Photography is underway, and they fan out 3 and 4 wide just about already as everybody gets sideways and everybody in the middle of the pack wrecks in 1 and 2. A carbon copy of what we saw in the first race, but this time a lot more drivers involved.
Yeah, and it was a stack up on that outside lane. I think it was Fly Guy got the field stacked up, and just everybody going 3 wide was not prepared for that. And we saw Joey Stone get around. I don't know if you're, familiar with the NASCAR Thunder challenges back in the day. Fly Guy reminded me, but this is definitely the onboard one right here. Watch Ryan Vargas through this wreck. Everybody unfolding.
I need the Mike Skinner quote.
How'd you like to see this happening in front of you? We were thinking 4 wide there. Joey Stone got stacked up on the outside. Vargas going to get sent around off the nose of David Shieldhouse, and already some pandemonium going on. Wasn't so lucky that time, Ryan Vargas. He gets tagged there and goes around in turn number 1, and already chaos unfolding here in race number 2 after a super calm race 1.
Case Collenbach stuffing it in the fence to stay away from the race leaders, but easy work there from McCandless.
What's the mess?
West the mess down on the apron, and Joey Stone there as well. No caution. We stay green flag race. Now the yellow flag comes out. Now, just at the tail end of that.
And that's going to change everything here. This complete outlook. It was looking like it was Blake McCandless' race in the bag for him. 4 laps to go, but Admin Ben gets the caution in, and now it's going to be a race between Blake McCandless. Michael P. Frisch will be up in this. Sean Butler suddenly has a chance to fix his damage.
The green flag comes back out. Frisch with a little bit of a slower restart. That'll stack up the inside line, and Dylan Kim's going to get put in the back. Staying green flag racing, though, as Frisch will begin to thunder down the inside and try to reel McCandless back in.
Butler getting stuck behind Brian LaPrade. David Shieldhouse is down to the inside right now. Blake McCandless, Michael P. Frisch is away, but David Shieldhouse, can he chase these 2 back down?
Frisch is all the way up at the fence, trying to find every bit of momentum he can get off the corner. Shieldhouse trying to fight off Brian LaPrade. 1 car in the fence a little bit further back. White flag out at Rockingham.
Yeah, that was Harry Tiller. He gets tagged as well. No caution, though. Michael P. Frisch trying to carve down the exit. Blake McCandless still his race to lose.
McCandless with 2 tires in the high lane for most of this race will ride the middle and slide up towards the fence a little bit and come off of turn 4 and make it happen. The Raleigh native is a winner in the Core Summer Series presented by Simrat Market. He takes race number 2 of the doubleheader in the Carolina 120 presented by Eric Messer Photography.
Good stuff last week from The Rock, no doubt about it. Hopefully, we can come back there in the next season of Core throughout the fall and through the winter. Nonetheless, last week we talked with the driver that has been on the schneid as of late. Of course, he went out there after the pre-race show and won race number 1. We'll see if we can go 2 for 2 this week here at Kansas. This driver, well, he calls himself the slowest driver on iRacing. Slow and in the way is what he has referred to himself over the last couple of years, but he didn't really follow through with that in his first course start, going to victory lane in perhaps one of the biggest races Core's ever done.
We've got a parade of lap cars. It's Cosman, it's Normile, it's Blake McCandless. Oh! Harry, he collects Plash, and Lowell almost gets turned. He saved it. We've still got 7, 8, 9 cars left. Storming into turn number 3. Where will these lap cars go? Breyer leads the middle line. Keplinger up high. Here comes Joey down low with the run. Help from Frisch. Remember, the apron is possible. Where do the lap cars go? Here comes Justin! Justin Malillo! Did he get it? Yes! Justin
You gotta be kidding me!
He got it! Justin Malillo! Get his face on the screen! He wins Daytona 250, presented by Traction in a Traction car!
Oh my god! Oh, that's awesome! Oh, there it is! Yeah!
Yes!
You gotta be kidding me! Oh my god!
In the Moonhead shirt, nonetheless, Justin Malillo somehow survives that. We need a lot of replays at the end of that, but not a happier person in this race right now than that man, Justin Malillo. He can't believe it.
I can't believe it! What a finish! What a photo finish!
And another guy we didn't even mention all race pretty much, Keenan Kusin finishes second in the Kia. So
Did we mention the margin of victory?
1,000th of a second.
1/1000th of a second. It cannot get closer than that in terms of iRacing standards.
Alrighty, and we're now joined by the driver of the 53, Mr. Justin Malillo. I think we're going to drag him up here. I'll do it myself. There we go. Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
I got to look over here and see what's on the big board. Okay. All right. It's kind of what I thought was going to wind up on there. Thanks for joining us, Justin. Great to have you with us here pre-race. Had a hot start to your core career. Season 4, race 1, you win. Things have cooled off a little bit, though, since you haven't had a top 5 finish since that race. One exception, the All-Star race in Season 4 and the Radicals. What's changed? Is it just the competition has gotten better over time, or just bad luck?
I wouldn't call it bad luck. I'm still having a blast. It really doesn't matter where I'm finishing in these races. Every week I show up to a core race. I always leave with a smile on my face. These races are just, some of the most fun that you can have. And my finishes may not show what I may be capable of. Last week felt really good. Almost had a pair of top 10s, which would have been 4 top 10s to start the season. And tonight I'm feeling really good, even though my speed's off. I love these Gen 4 cars. I love this track. And I love these people, man. Everybody here's great.
Let's talk about this racetrack here at Kansas Speedway. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? The fact that we've got a lot more horsepower in these things than we would have, say, a season ago certainly adds another level.
Yeah, surely. It's your normal cookie cutter, but it's with these cars specifically, you can actually go out in there and race against your competitors. The track is hot. It's going to be a little bit slick. And it's just, I really can't explain it. Kansas has always been one of my favorite tracks for multiple reasons. And it's a great facility in real life as well. Been there one time, and it's a good time. I'm excited that FTF.GG is sponsoring tonight's race, and really excited to get the show on the road for sure.
Now, I know that you've been racing on Monday nights on iRacing for a pretty good amount of time, and you've come close a couple of times to winning it all. Are you having more fun now than you were, say, 2-3 years ago? Is the fun meter at about as high as it can go with Core right now?
Fun meter is pegged, Jacob Hitz. There's nothing more fun than strapping into a Core event, no matter where we're at. We have already had 4 incredible races this season. They have been nothing short of incredible, all 4 of them, and tonight is going to be no different. I really do enjoy everything that goes on in this league, and I've recently upgraded my equipment. I got the new DD Pro. I'm not using that rim tonight, but I got some new equipment under me. I think a top 5 is possible. So watch out. I might get one.
We'll see what happens. 2 40-lap races coming up for Justin Melillo. We'll see if he's able to get himself into the top 5 and pick up his first top 5 since the middle of, the start of Season 4. Justin, thanks for your time. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you toward the end of this deal. By the way, Justin's finishes on the 1.5-mile racetracks in Season number 5, well, he missed the last race of the year at Atlanta. He only ran 1. We only really had 1 other 1.5 miles on the schedule, that belonging to Homestead. His finishes, 12th and 16th. 16th, rather. We looked it up, so that way you don't have to. And of course, we forgot to do this segment last week, so figured we had to throw it in tonight. Nonetheless, coming up next, Core Summer Series, presented by SimRatMarket.com. The FTF.GG 150 from Kansas is next. Green flag, we're racing. Core, presented by SimRatMarket.com, welcomes you to the virtual Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. It's the FTF.GG 150, live from the virtual Kansas Speedway. I already did this bit, so let's move along. So glad to have you with us here tonight, and the full Bill Weber experience is in effect tonight. From pre-race straight to the real race, Jacob Pitts here with you alongside Caleb Hoffman. And, Caleb, here we go. The band is back together once again here in the Summer Series, and we're about set to do this. We've got some new faces in this race tonight, some familiar faces making their series debut or their season debut. And, oh, by the way, this racetrack puts on some banger races in these race cars.
Absolutely. Again, big power here tonight with the Gen 4. You're going to see guys sending it into the corner. Expect to see the high line utilized a lot here tonight, as well as the low line. It's going to be kind of a strategy battle that we'll get into. Again, regular group of dudes here throwing in Brad Perez making his first start tonight, Ian Plash, and then Connor Daly as well makes his core debut here at Kansas tonight. We got a good group of folks. This is going to be 2 banger races.
Take a look at our starting grid for tonight's race. And first, the Pole Award. Eric Messer Photography proudly sponsors the Core League Summer Series Pole Award. The Eric Messer Photography Pole Award is presented to the driver who ranks the lowest in the point standings at each Core League event. This week, the honor is given to one Brayton Laster, who has only made one start, technically, because he wasn't here at the Rock. So he ran both races at Daytona, but that is it. Eric Messer Photography will award the driver with the most poles this season with their very own trophy for their hard work and dedication to the Core League. Eric Messer Photography, the official photographer of the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium, and the Core League Summer Series. The rest of your starting grid brought to you by Alpha Prime Racing. We'll let that scroll across the bottom of your screen because we are about half a lap away from getting to the green flag. Corey Vervink will be on the outside of the front row, and, well, this should be a good one. 50 laps are up on the board. I don't know who told me 40 because they are wrong. It's 2 50-lap races tonight, unless we screwed the session up, which I wouldn't rule that out either. But I'm betting on it being 2 50-lap races here from Kansas. So the Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, and Corey Vervink will be on the outside. Will lead us down to the start. Of course, at the back of the field will be your championship leader. That right now is Blake McCandless. Picked up a win in the second race. And you've got the new folks back there as well. And the truck stayed out there for another lap. I thought we were going, but I guess we're not. Kalen, let's take a look at our race analysis.
Absolutely. Again, going to be a fun one here from Kansas. Again, one of the newest tracks on the schedule here. Surfaces actually starting to get up there, about 22 years old, and 1.5 mile racetrack here. Again, 2 50-lap races here tonight. And again, it's going to be really interesting to see the strategy here from these guys tonight. That high line, the amount of momentum on the high side is going to be come into play a lot for these drivers. It's just going to wear your tires out so quickly. So expect to see guys try to use that as a passing lane and then just kind of ride around on the bottom. We'll see again how that comes into play here. Looking at weather as well right now, 68 degrees right now, air temp, and then you see the track temp right there, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, no humidity, and then the wind north at 2 miles per hour with partly cloudy skies. So track temperature really not that hot, so we'll see how that affects tire wear as well. Of course, normal core rules, 75% fuel limit here tonight for this 50-lap event.
In the daytime, well, it's in the morning, 10 a.m. start time here from Kansas. So it's early, it's cool. That should allow for a lot of grip and a lot of great side-by-side racing. Brayton Laster and Corey Vervink are on the front row for the initial start of the FTF.GG 150. We're racing in Kansas. Well, Brayton Laster got the wall there off turn number 4 on the initial start. Justin Melillo got turned off the bumper of Dylan Kem as the field checked up. He's way behind the field, has a little bit of damage to the back of the car. Meanwhile, Jonathan Cadell leads the field off corner number 2. You see the thick of the pack back here with Schildhaus, Vervink, Briar LaPrade, Wes Graham, and more.
Looking up for the battle for the lead right now. Garrett Smithley just sent it in underneath Steel Horse right there and was able to grab the lead.
Oh, man, they saved it. Corey Vervink about lost it off the front end of Briar LaPrade. LaPrade gave him a boot scooting boogie off turn number 4. Dylan Kem got the wall and got squeezed. They were 4 wide Vervink did a great job hanging onto the race car, though, and we stay under green. Great save by the driver of the 12.
And again, you can already see how all over the place these cars are right now. And seeing good utilization of both this inside and outside lane right now. You saw on that first lap going 3 and 4 wide. So when these runs come to you, you know, you got to take advantage of them as best as you can get. And that's exactly what Garrett Smithley's done to put himself into P1 right now.
Garrett Smithley trying to run away. He picked up his first core win at Atlanta. Season ender last year. Won race 1 of 2 there. Had a good shot to try and win race number 2, trying to pick up his second career core win in really just his 5th start. Meanwhile, battle back for the 5th position, Harry Tiller and Ryan Vargas.
And again, just tons of fun battling right now. You see this inside and outside. Vargas using some of that middle lane right there, going to try to get all the momentum he can. Gets to the outside of Harry Tiller right there. And again, this outside lane is faster right now. We were suspecting that we'd see a lot of guys on the inside to kind of conserve these tires, but obviously not the play right now as everybody wants all the track position they can get. Still a really fun battle here with Vargas and Tiller as they remain side by side.
Tiller on the apron, on the inside. You got Vargas up top, still side by side as Cozy trying to take over that second spot.
Yeah, hard charging here for sure from Cozy. Last time by ran a 30.9, which is only 0.2 off the fastest laps we saw all day. Still looking at this battle right here between Harry Tiller and Ryan Vargas. Both of these guys not wanting to move an inch, and both of them, while being side by side, are gaining on Gabe Wood. Expect him to come into play in this battle. Cozy down to the inside of Steel Horse right here, and this is just a great show going on right now.
For second, Cozy on the inside. You got Cadell up on the outside. Still side by side. Gabe Wood gets to the wall behind him, and he's going to lose a ton of time. Stuck up against the outside safer barrier. Oh, trouble! Cozy's around! Off turn 2. Sliding it down on the apron. We stay green at single car. And Michael Cozy Jr., the Coke Series driver, takes a big old slide off turn number 2 and gives up all that track position.
Yeah, not what Cozy wanted to see there, but great job by him to keep that thing out of the wall.
Meanwhile, back to this battle here. It's now for 4th between Harry Tiller and Ryan Vargas.
And again, this battle has been going on. Both of them able to get around Gabe Wood after he tagged the wall there. Harry, I'd imagine, yeah, going to try to send it. Came close to making some contact there. Great job by these two, and I think Vargas is going to let him have it for right now. Maybe expect him to try a crosser at some point.
Well, he's going to think about it, but he'll stay tucked in line as Justin Champagne closes in and looks to continue his slide toward the front of the field. He'll look to the inside, but can't really get anything there. He started back in the 8th position, but a lot of these other guys here toward the front.
And look at Vargas all over Harry Tiller right here. This is going to open the door for Justin Champagne down to the inside. Big block from Harry Tiller on Champagne. That's going to kill his run. And now it's going to be Champagne and Vargas who are side by side. And this is getting dicey up at the front. Harry looking to the inside on Jonathan Cadell. And now Justin Champagne, a big sin on the inside of Harry Tiller. Tiller's going to throw the block, but all this battling's opened the door for 2 of your points leaders in David Schildhouse and Blake McCandless.
And there's more behind that. You've got Sean Butler there. You ride on board with Schildhouse. Brian LaPrade has joined the party as well. That's like your top 5 in points that's all up here. Plus you've got Michael P. Frisch who's joined the party as well. It is a party up here at the front, but this is just the race for the second place. As Champagne looks to the inside 3 wide, can't get it done. Goodell up on the outside, Harry Tiller trying to clear. Here comes Schildhouse up the middle 3 wide.
And this is what Core is all about for all these cars right here. This is about 8 cars right under a blanket all together running 3 wide, all for second place. Harry Tiller right now trying to fend them all off. David Schildhouse getting close to his inside. A little bit of a wiggle out of Harry. Looks like they're going to keep it straight for right now, but that's going to open the door for Schildhouse to get to the outside of Tiller.
3 wide further back, Frisch on the apron. They all have to slide up to give room. And Frisch stays tucked up right behind the 71 of Blake McCandless. Still 3 wide. Sean Butler in the middle. Vargas on the outside. That thing really stepped out off turn number 2. And now Brian LaPrade going to look to the inside. Vargas had to lift. Here comes Butler, 3 wide again, up the middle. Cadell to the outside. Now Justin Champagne going to try the tippy-top lane up by the safer barrier. They're still 3 wide. This is a great battle still. Really now from 4th on back as Tiller and Schildhouse start to run away.
And if you're Garrett Smithley right now, this is exactly what you want to see out of this group. The first 3 have kind of started to single file out, but this is still a great battle back here. Steelhorse going to get a little loose. Brian LaPrade going to get down to his inside, try to get to the outside of Blake McCandless, who is really stuck to this bottom lane right now.
And even for a low track temp, Caleb, only around 85 degrees. I say low relatively. Usually it's up in the triple digits here. These guys are slipping and sliding around this racetrack. There's a slight bit more grip than usual, but not by much.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the amount of grip that's on display right here. David Schildhouse making a move up for P2 with Harry Tiller. And he was able to just cut that car down in the middle of the corner. And again, a lot of this sliding around right now could be attributed to just the amount of horsepower that's underneath the hoods of these race cars. Naturally, you're just going to slide around based on the amount of power that you have. And looking right now, still side by side with Schildhouse and Tiller. They have both started to reel in leader Garrett Smithley here. Even Justin Champagne's in on this battle. Frisch behind them. We should have a fun battle for the lead.
Here comes Schildhouse to the inside, and he's going to slide that baby all the way up to the door of Garrett Smithley coming off turn number 4. Gotta wonder if maybe Garrett burned up his tires. How about 3 wide for the lead on lap 18 to turn 1?
3 wide still. Garrett Smithley committed that top lane. Looks like David Schildhouse, though, too much power for both of them. Going to be able to clear him through the middle. And now Harry Tiller and Garrett Smithley are side by side. New leader going into turn 3. It's David Schildhouse.
Schildhouse has yet to go to victory lane this year in the Core Summer Series, but he's gotten close. 3 top 5 finishes as Garrett bounces off the wall, catches the kick out there on the safer barrier, and loses 3 more spots. He drops back to position number 5. Here comes Champagne to the outside of Harry Tiller. This is the battle for second. Frisch right behind in 4th.
And you can see the back ends of these cars stepping out as they come off turn number 2, going into turn 3, still side by side. Justin Champagne going to try to squeeze Harry Tiller down on that inside lane. And that can cause trouble if you see both these guys wiggles. They keep it stable for right now.
Brian LaPrade got the wall. A little bit behind him. He's going to lose time to McCandless.
And again, on this high lane, you're going to chew up your tires. You see big wiggle out of Justin Champagne right there. Michael P. Frisch going to bail. He's going to make it 3 wide for second on Harry Tiller.
3 wide for second. Here comes Frisch. Down to the bottom, gets in front of Tiller. We'll see the run Champagne has on the outside, wheel to wheel for that second spot.
Still so much fun right now. Justin Champagne, again, going to lose that on entry as Frisch sends it, but over the course of this corner, he's going to get it all back, try to use that momentum to carry him up alongside this number 58 machine. And he will be able to do that again. That's just going to come at the expense of later on in this run.
Side by side for that 3rd spot. They get awfully close, and Tiller gets loose. Champagne will hold on to that 3rd spot for the time being. Schildhouse, your leader. Then it's Frisch, Champagne, Tiller, and now a side-by-side battle for 5th. Blake McCandless on the bottom. And Sean Butler up top as Brayton Laster heads to pit road.
And that's got to be something that's conscious in your mind right now. Remember, a 75% fuel limit. You're not going to be able to make this race on the fuel that you started this race with. So you're going to have to come down to the pit lane at some point. So it's got to be a conscious thought in everybody's minds.
Justin Melillo, the lap car after spinning on the opening start. He's just a couple of car lengths in front now of David Schildhouse, and got the be mindful of the leader's call from race control. He pulls over. He'll go a lap down. But the only good news for driver 53 is that if we get a caution, he would be the free pass. Wes Graham is going to be pitting here. So the pit window starting to open up for these drivers toward the front. A little bit of maybe strategy from driver 88.
Absolutely, and again, no stranger to that in core. We saw it just last week at Rockingham. A few wacky strategy calls, especially from one of your top 5 runners right now in Blake McCandless, who tried to stay out for that entire first race back at Rockingham. We'll see if anybody else can try to figure out some alternative strategy like that here tonight.
Can we get a live look of Brayton Laster? I understand we have one. And he's on pit road, as I mentioned. He's not... Yeah, this is what he's doing. I thought it was a pizza break, and he's on his phone. All right, so, yeah. Brayton Laster, everybody. Yeah, wearing the... David Schildhouse Core Season 5 champion merch. Dylan Kem on pit road. Your race 1 winner at Daytona. Rusty will join him. And Fly Guy going to make the call.
Yeah,
and so will Garrett. Here we go. Caleb, pit lane is about to be a busy place.
Absolutely, and again, it's all about execution here. Again, Garrett Smithley going to slide it in. He's able to get that car woed down. Ian Plash on pit road as well. Fly Guy, drive through, all in this group. And it looks like this is going to be the conventional strategy where you try to just split it halfway. Now, leader David Schildhouse calls that he's going to pit.
Brian LaPrade will as well. That DT paint scheme, by the way, he did a poll on Twitter to find out what scheme that he would run. And that's what he selected. Here comes Schildhouse, your race leader. He's on pit road. Harry Tiller, look out behind him. Brian LaPrade locking up the tires. Vargas is on. Gabe Wood and Gary Owen. And they all make it down there safely. No black flags for any of them. Your leader right now, Michael P. Fresh, then Champagne, Sean Butler, Blake McCandless, Jonathan Cadell. Your top 5 on lap 28 of 50 here from Kansas. And here comes Fresh to pit road. Sean's going to join him, and Fresh way missed pit entry. Sean's going to spin and crash into the wall. Black flag for speeding, and now damage to the front end of the 32.
And he hit it very square on the front end of that race car. We've heard for the past 2 weeks that can cause major aero issues for you. And Sean Butler looks like he's going to fall victim to it. And this is the second time in about 3 days he's had a pit road incident.
So a not good stop for Sean Butler or for Michael P. Fresh, both hemorrhaging spots. Now Sean, we'll see if he uses his fast repair for that damage. Case Kallenbach is on the pit lane. Keenan Kusin is on the pit lane. And Sean's going to have a lengthy stay in the box anyway because of the black flag for speeding. Justin Champagne will be coming to pit road this time by, which will lead just 2 drivers out there. Blake McCandless, who we expect to do some funky strategy, and Michael Cozy Jr., who, remember, spun racing for the lead. He's going to come to pit road this time. So Blake McCandless won the loneliest number. He's the only guy out there on a different strategy, and we'll see how far he decides to take that underdog fantasy machine before bringing it to pit road.
And again, points leader Blake McCandless, he's been known to do stuff like this, especially in core. We remember back to Daytona. We talked to him, and he said that staying out always works for him in core, and it looks like here on lap 31, he's going to come down. And he locks it up big time.
But no black flag. That's the important part.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're taking 4 tires anyways, so it doesn't hurt as much as it could.
So your race leader, I think...
Now it's going to be David Schildhaus.
Yeah, it will be David Schildhaus because he's going to pass Wes Graham right here. Remember, Graham stopped a lap or 2 early. And David Schildhaus to the front. He retakes the lead. Or will right here.
Yeah, Schildhaus with a nice buffer right now. He's got Wes Graham right behind him. But again, on those somewhat older tires, and Wes Graham just doesn't have the pace right now for Schildhaus. Garrett Smithley trying to catch second place runner Wes Graham right now to maybe take the fight to David Schildhaus, but I think it's going to take a wiggle or something out of him because right now David Schildhaus, one of the fastest cars on the track.
Well, and Smithley, he's on a lap older tires compared to David Schildhaus. Let's run through the field. Here on lap 33, David Schildhaus, your race leader. Wes Graham currently occupies second, but that will change shortly. Garrett Smithley takes over the second spot. Wes Graham sits in third. Fourth place belongs to Harry Tiller. Fifth, Briar LaPrade. Dylan Kem, sixth. Michael P. Frisch, seventh. Ryan Vargas, eighth. Ian Plash, making his season debut, sits in ninth. And Gabe Wood rounding out the top 10, Caleb.
Yeah, looking on back, Justin Champagne, we've seen him with a bunch of speed so far tonight, sits 11th right now. Right behind him, points leader just came down pit road. Blake McCandless runs in the 12th position. Behind points leader McCandless is Goen, who is sitting in P13 right now. Fly Guy is in 14th. He's already made his stop. Everybody on back should be good to the end. Drive-through in the Bob Evans Big Fan Esports throwback car this week, running in the 15th spot. Jonathan Cadell, we saw with lots of speed early, running in the 16th spot. And then after that, Rusty Walrus, you'll have to travel back behind lap car Justin Malillo to find him running in the 17th position. And then 18th is Arrow, again making his season debut tonight. Just got passed, actually, by Michael Cozy Jr., who inherits that 18th position, and now it'll be Arrow in 19th. And then rounding out your top 20, Corey Vervinkt.
Final 3 cars, or final 5 cars rather. Connor Daly sits in 21st. Case Kallenbach is 22nd. Sean Butler is 1 lap down in 23rd. Justin Malillo 2 down in 24th. Brayton Laster still sitting on the pit lane right now. I don't know why he gave up after 20 laps, but yeah.
He's vibing.
Yeah, well, sign up to race. Race. Whatever. David Schildhaus, still your race leader here as we're approaching 10 laps to go in race number 1. Nice little battle back here between Dylan Kem and Ryan Vargas, 7th and 8th. You got Wes Graham right in front of him as well. Graham on those older tires is starting to fall through the field. Vargas to the inside here of Kem in turn number 3.
And again, Wes Graham has not been afraid to use that high lane, so an additional strenuous on those tires. Right now, DK, the Daytona Race 1 winner, alongside with Ryan Vargas right now, and Vargas now going to the inside. He might get 2 spots in 1 turn here.
Oh boy. Maybe, and Vargas trying to block. Here comes Kem to the bottom. Side by side, Vargas drives it in deep on the high side. Kem had to lift so he wouldn't wipe him out. And Vargas holds on to the spot.
Good
How about
call
the battle
there
for second, Caleb? It's brewing right now. You got Garrett Smithley, Harry Tiller, and Brian LaPrade here. Second, third, and fourth.
And right now, this is shaping up to be a fun battle once again. You see Garrett Smithley running this high lane. Harry Tiller has been super committed down to this inside. However, they need to figure this out quick, because if they stay side by side like this, that's going to allow race leader David Schildhouse to continue to pull away. But right now, looking like they're going to go 3 wide. Briar LaPrade trying to split the middle with the run he got off turn number 4. They're going to be 3 wide going into 1.
And here we go. Let's see how this could work. This could allow that 58 right behind of Michael P. Frisch to join the party. A little loose on the outside for Smithley. LaPrade takes second. Harry Tiller still stuck in third.
And still, again, this high lane looks like it has the speed. It just can't run up there for long before you start to get some extra tire wear. Garrett Smithley, again, has a run. I would expect Michael P. Frisch maybe to make a move on him for the 4th position as they go into turn number 1, and he will try. Now P. Frisch tries to get to the outside of Smithley.
Around that outside, he's going to try and make it work, and he will.
Oh, contact on the front straightaway. Corey Verveeked around in the tribal grass. Little bit of
Still
contact
green.
he made with Sean Butler, and yeah, no caution.
Yeah, and it was just the speed differential right there that caught Sean Butler off guard. Vervinkt up on the outside. Sean Butler just trying to naturally exit the corner. And Sean, the serial killer, takes out another. Now, that was just a racing deal, but that's been the joke all year that, well, Sean's out to get people. And, well, he did it again.
Yeah,
we get a replay.
They're going to be running wild with this one. You see just a little bit of contact between the two. Corey Verveeked slides up off the corner, and then Sean Butler's just there, and he will not hear the end of that one. Although I agree with you, I do think it was a racing deal there. The rest of the core field not going to let that one go, though.
You'll see that one on the clown reel later tonight.
Very, very true. It's a tough break for Verveeked there, but again, 8 laps to go. Don't need to throw a caution running for 20th back there, because he's going to be tagging the wall again.
So Brian LaPrade sits in second, and he is trying to close in on David Schildhouse, but he may run out of laps. We're coming to now 8 laps to go. Make it 7 to go. The gap is down to a second, and Briar may have found his second wind on these tires. Same age as Schildhouse as far as tires are concerned. Frisch is on a lap fresher tires. Not sure that'll matter too much. I don't know if they'll get there unless Schildhouse and Briar get side by side, but right now it's damage control, I think, for car number 20 trying to maintain the gap. It's just under a second.
And watch the lines that they run as they go into turn number 1. Leader David Schildhouse has been running this inside lane with a late arc into the corner. Meanwhile, Briar LaPrade been committed to this middle high lane, as well as Michael P. Frisch, and you can really tell that both of them are trying to make up as much ground on Schildhouse as they can.
You're 3 and 4. Here comes Frisch. He's closing in on second. If they battle for second, that could allow Schildhouse to pull away with 5 laps to go. Meanwhile, right behind, you can see McCandless and Harry Tiller side by side. Candle's on even fresher tires. He's running about 3/10 a lap faster than your leader. Problem, though, he's about a second and a half back. He is not going to have enough time unless there's a caution, and if there is, I have a feeling everybody's going to come to pit road anyway.
Absolutely, and again, remember coming into today, the points lead was separated by just 2 races. Last week, it was Michael P. Frisch who had that red banner that you see on the top of Blake McCandless's machine. And Frisch, I know, really wants that points lead back. And again, with only 2 points separating them, just a few positions can make or break that margin. And right now, Blake McCandless is doing everything he can to try to get to the inside of Frisch and make sure that he can't climb back to the points lead.
Update, by the way, on Brayton Laster. Unsafe pit entry, and then his mom called. So he parked it, and he'll get the pole award for race number 2. I think he was just like, all right, well, I'll take the pole. We'll see how that works for him. Nonetheless, Brayton Laster, no. Briar LaPrade, I know who you are. 3 laps to go. The gap is down to 0.6 of a second. Caleb, it's not over.
Oh, Briar LaPrade, he tagged the outside wall just a little bit. He is committed to running that very outside lane. Last time by, LaPrade was 0.2 faster than David Schildhouse. I don't think tagging the wall there is going to help him, though. You see, that's going to allow Michael P. Frisch to get down to the inside. They have the pace. I just don't know.
Oh, he did it again.
I don't know if he has enough time.
2 laps to go. They have to get by him now and hope Schildhaus has a mistake on these next 2 laps. McCandless looking 3 wide at the middle. Instead, tucks in behind Frisch. Frisch
Michael,
cannot get clear of LaPrade. They're 3 wide again. Here comes Candless down to the bottom. And that's going to allow Schildhaus to scoot away. Frisch again tries the middle 3 wide. LaPrade is just sitting up there on the outside line, but he's making it work as Schildhaus takes the white flag.
And LaPrade has the pace. Again, I think just tagging the wall those 2 times is going to cost him this race win. David Schildhaus loves looking in his mirror right now, seeing these guys 3 wide behind him. Still, Brian LaPrade committed to this outside lane. McCandless is going to complete the pass for P number 3. Michael P. Frisch slots into 4th. We'll see as they come down the backstretch into turn 3 for the final time.
This is a battle for the championship behind with McCandless and Frisch, but off turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Race number 1 belongs to David Schildhaus. First win of the Core Summer Series presented by SimRapMarket.com. The 20 headed to victory lane.
David Schildhaus, that was a great win. Had to hold off 3 hard chargers again, and Brian LaPrade, Michael P. Frisch, and Blake McCandless. And McCandless again padding his points lead on Michael P. Frisch right now, just by a little bit, but that's all it takes.
And oh man, good stuff from race number 1. And don't forget, folks, we've got another one coming up. We get to do 50 more laps and a second race here from Kansas in about 10 minutes time. That 10 minutes being a little generous, I think, but it may be in a little less time than that, but should be a good one nonetheless. David Schildhaus will burn down the house here on the front straightaway. We'll take a look at our results from race 1 of the FTF.GG 150. David Schildhaus, the winner. Brian LaPrade finishes in 2nd. Blake McCandless holds on to 3rd. Michael P. Frisch finishes 4th. Harry Tiller, he gets a top 5. Justin Champagne 6th. Garrett Smithley 7th. Ryan Vargas finishes in 8th. Gabe Wood 9th. And Dylan Kim rounds out the top 10.
Looking on back to 11th, Ian Plash with a good result in his debut. Jonathan Cadell as well ran up front early on, just kind of faded as that run persisted. Wes Graham going to finish 13th here tonight. Gary Owen in the 14th position. Fly Guy coming home in the 15th position. Michael Cozy Jr. after that spin early on just could not recover. Comes home 16th. Drive through in the Bob Evans throwback machine coming home in the 17th position. Keenan Kusin again in his debut here tonight finishes 18th. Rusty Walrus in 19th. And then Connor Daly in his core debut rounds out your top 20.
Final 5, Kallenbach 21st. Last one of the lead lap. Then you've got Corey Vervinkt 1 lap down, Sean Butler a lap down, Justin Malillo 2 down in 24th, Brayton Laster 30 laps down in 25th. We will re-rack, restack, talk with our top 3, and do 50 more laps from the Heartland in Kansas. When we come back, you're watching the Core Summer Series live on FTF.GG.
the end of the road. I'm still following to find out where it goes. I think you want me to hold the knife and push it through, but you won't let it show. Before I fall, I need to know, are you still holding on? Have you lost hope? 'Cause it's not fair to keep me close with broken promises. I need you to let me go. I'm still with you, but I feel alone. Standing in this house, it's not a home. Going through the motions, killing time. Waiting for a reason or a sign. Before I fall, I need to know, are you still holding on? Have you lost hope? 'Cause it's not fair to keep me close with broken promises. I need you to let me go.
Back here from the Kansas Speedway, the FTF.GG 150, live here on FTF as race number 2 is going to be starting here shortly in just a little bit of time. And Blake McCandless joins the program, our third place finisher from race number 1, and also our points leader coming into tonight. Blake McCandless, I know you're currently out on the racetrack just doing some laps and trying some alternate strategy. Didn't quite work out the way you wanted, but it almost worked out.
Yeah, well, I was kind of curious to know how far we could go and how kind of where that balance of undercutting was with the points lead. I knew that we could try that and also just kind of stay conservative. You know, if the caution had come out, that we would be in a really, really good position later in that race. So probably wish I would have gone down like a lap or two earlier, but still good to learn for this upcoming race that, you know, I do think going further is a big benefit. There's not really modeled dirty air in these cars, so you're still getting a lot of draft and you have fresh tires, and you're not really having to work as hard to pass cars. I think, you know, when you battle in these cars, it's really easy to kind of overstep your tires. So having that, being able to pull up to somebody and have a 3 or 4 lap tire advantage, it makes passing those cars really easy. And so I think that's why we were able to carve through pretty well. So, but I don't know, it'll still be, you know, top 5s, top 3s that win this championship. So, you know, glad to get one in that first race, and, you know, hopefully we can employ some of the same stuff, have another fast underdog fantasy dodge, and be up at the front of the second one.
Well, best of luck, and you're going to have to start from the back yet again. This is the second race in a row. You're going to start from the second to last row. How hard is it coming from the back to the front in those first 30 laps?
It's difficult because you just don't know where everybody's running, kind of what everybody's thinking, because, I mean, you obviously saw in that first race you have a couple guys that are willing to kind of test the waters a little bit more and get track position. So you're kind of trying to balance that as well as not run your own stuff off. And I mean, honestly, I think I know we didn't win that first race, but I think the blueprint for what we need to do is kind of what we did in that first race. Just kind of stay committed right on the white line and just kind of be patient, work by, anybody that we can, and, put ourselves in a good position. I have a feeling we may not get 2 consecutive races that go green to the end. So we'll see if something happens early, and since we're in the back, we have, a chance to maybe pull something else strategy-wise too. So I don't know, a lot of options, but again, I think kind of what we did in that first race should bode well here for the second one as well.
Well, Blake, best of luck here, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end of race number 2.
All right, thank you, Jacob.
That's Blake McCandless, and he pretty much took the talking point right away from me that usually we have a calm one and a wild one. If that first race was the calm one, we could be here a while for race number 2. Let's talk with our second place finisher with Caleb. It's Briar LaPrade.
Yeah, here with Briar LaPrade. And Briar, you had David Schildhouse there in front of you. You were trying to rip the top. Anything you think you could have done to catch him there?
Well, probably just not hit the wall, and we might have had a shot, but we hit the wall like 4 times that race. So, yeah, not a big fan of this track right now, so maybe we'll become friends with it again after this. But yeah, we just gotta stay out of the wall, and we might have a shot next time. So we'll see how it goes this race.
Yeah, and again, it was a very fun battle there for second with your other 2 championship contenders, you, Candles, and Michael P. Frisch, all 1, 2, 3 in points. So does that add an extra, element of urgency there to try to get around both of them?
Yeah, with how tight the championship this year is, I seen those 2, and I was like, yeah, I might as well just try and hold on to second here without just letting them on by. So we actually had to try and hold them off there for a little bit, but thankfully the top was good enough, and we didn't hit the wall again the last couple little laps. So yeah, it was important to stay in front of those 2. I'm sure that'll matter here towards the end. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes with those couple guys.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get back to it here. Thank you for your time, and good luck here in race 2. That's Briar LaPrade.
That it is, and we'll talk with our race winner and reigning series champion, David Schildhouse. How are you, champ?
Feel like a winner again, Jacob. That's a good feeling. I wasn't sure when I would win again here in the core, but honestly, I was not that confident headed into this race. I wasn't sure how good I was going to be, but I guess if you drive from 18th to win, I guess you're doing all right.
Now, what about the fact that, well, you come away with the win. There's still a long way to go, and you've had a habit of getting hot right around midway point in the season, right around the All-Star break or what have you. We've got our exhibition race next week. After that, 3 rounds to go before the end of the championship, or before the end of the season already. Are you making a push for the championship here down the stretch?
I didn't show up not to win the championship. I'll tell you that much right now. I got off to a slow start at Daytona. We picked things up last week at Rockingham, sort of showed the performance that I expected to have in this series, and to start off tonight with a win, and I think we can go out and get a second one right here. That would be a pretty big play right there and make up for the oof that was Daytona. So yeah, we're gunning for a championship. I'll find somebody to make questionable contact with in the All-Star race. That seemed to work last time out. And, we'll just put this thing together, and I'll put another little trophy over there next to the first one I got,
We'll see what happens. David Schildhouse entered tonight, 35 points out from first place. The guys that he's racing, of course, finished right on his tail, but we'll see what happens in race number 2. David, congratulations and good luck here in the second race.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Just want to remind everybody, now through the end of Thursday, you can save 30% on advanced GG products with code HOUSE30 at checkout, the very same gaming supplement that powered me to a win here in race number 1. So advanced GG, code HOUSE30, save 30% through Thursday. Very happy for Flex Car to get them in victory lane here in the core. Let's go do it again, shall we?
There you have it. David Schildhouse, your race 1 winner from Kansas. We're about set to go for race number 2. So, let's get to it. The Eric Messer Photography Pole Award. Eric Messer Photography proudly sponsors the Core League Summer Series Pole Award, which in race number 2 is awarded to the driver that finished dead last in race 1. In this race, it is given to one Brayton Laster, who basically earned it on purpose. At least that's what he told us. The Eric Messer Photography Pole Award will award the driver with the most poles this season with their very own trophy for their hard work and dedication to the Core League. Eric Messer Photography, the official photographer of the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium, and the Core League Summer Series. Your reverse grid also brought to you by Alpha Prime Racing. You see some folks pulling out of line. They're going to take some EOL penalties, but for the most part, the grid will look like this. Brayton Laster on pole. Melillo will be second on the outside. Hopefully he won't get turned this time around. Corey Verbeek, Sean Butler in row number 2. Then you'll have Rusty Wall. No, well, it would be Case, and then Connor Daly. It'll be Rusty to the inside. Then you've got Rusty and Keenan Kusin drive through, and Michael Koza Jr. rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, looking on back, it'll be Fly Guy starting in the 11th position. Goen will be starting to his outside. Wes Graham going to be starting inside of row 7. Outside of him will be Jonathan Cadell. Then in the 15th position, you got Ian Plash. We got a little bit of a break on back here with the rest of the field. Dylan Kim will be starting in the 16th position. Then we will have Gabe Wood starting next to Ryan Vargas. Garrett Smithley, who is not on the track at the moment, in row number 10. Justin Champagne as well, rounding out your top 20.
Here we go. Pace car's in. We are missing Garrett. See what happens. Race number 2 is green, and whoa, what is Harry Tiller doing up the middle? They're 3 wide, they're 4 wide to turn 1.
Oh, it's going to get crazy here. Still 4 wide, going all the way up against the wall, and this is right around your championship leader, Blake McCandless.
They sorted out a little bit of a chicane. Now they're 4 wide again, as here comes Gabe Wood blocking Ryan Vargas. Garrett Smithley is now rolling after he missed the start. Meanwhile, for the lead, Justin Melillo around the outside takes it away. Sean Butler takes second from Brayton Laster.
Yeah, Laster again on the decline right now. Rusty Walrus to his outside, drive-through in that as well. And it sounds like Harry Tiller going to get penalized for that start. He'll have to go to the end of the longest line.
He jumped the start. Harry wants it reviewed. He's not happy, but he played the law, and the law won. Plain and simple. And Ben says he reviewed it for the lead. Here comes Sean Butler to the front.
Don't count out Rusty Walrus in this group as well. If these two are side by side, Rusty right on the back bumper is Sean Butler right now to the inside, and Justin Melillo for the second position.
In the wall. 1 car in the back gets Keenan Kusin. Arrow. Not a lot of arrow up in that outside wall. Got up into it in turn number 2. And he's dropped back to where Harry Tiller is, serving his penalty for jumping the start. Not a pit road drive-through, but he just has to drop to the tail and basically give the spots up. How about Rusty in P3 and scooting away from everybody here?
Yeah, this front 3 has a fair bit of pace right now, kind of using drive-through to...
Oh, don't hit the apron!
No. Rusty, a close call. He's going to tag the wall, so is drive-through.
1 car around, it's Gabe Wood. And Ian Plash about drop-kicked him. There may have been contact between Wood and Michael P. Frisch. And the caution's out for the first time tonight. And it's starting to look like there was some contact between the 58 and the 50. Here's the replay.
Yeah, Frisch said he thought there was some net code there with Gabe Wood, and a great job by everybody to keep it going right there. Gabe Wood just got the short end of the stick.
There's damage to the right rear of Gabe Wood's car, so it definitely detected contact. Whether or not there was any, though, is a different story. Nonetheless, caution's out for the first time between both races. And I believe we've got a certain driver on the telephone as the field is going to be coming to pit road early, and he's going to stay out so we can talk with him.
Yeah, and have to get a quick word in here with new leader after staying out, Rusty Walrus.
Yes!
Rusty.
Dude, we're going all the way off one win. We're going to the championship. We're winning the Summer Series like it's over.
Yeah, when we saw you were gapping Drive-through back there. Do you have something up your sleeve here for the rest of this race? Maybe you and Drive-through can pull away from everybody here at Kansas?
I almost made a few mistakes that would have put us out for the day at a couple corners there. I was digging as hard as I could to get to Sean and Justin, but we're going to send it here. We're going to try to lead our first ever lap. So my heart rate is going like crazy, but I'm not letting DT by me.
And not to strike fear into you here, but on this restart, looks like you're going to have the core intimidator behind you, Michael Cozy Jr. and Garrett Smithley. Do you got any plans to keep them behind you?
I should probably apologize in advance to the 99, the 4. This is going to be ugly.
No, you made your case. Just keep the 77 behind you. Do you know how many times he's taken you out in the core league?
Hey.
Ever?
I'm not lifted into turn 1. I'll tell you that. We're not lifted.
Oh, you're gone.
You just blinked out of the session. What happened?
I'm still on. Not in my.
Okay, now we're good. Now we're good.
We lost you.
Nope, he's back. We're good.
We'll let you get back to it.
He's gone. Oh boy.
Oh no, what's going on?
Tell,
boys?
Big trouble.
Tell
big
that
trouble.
hamster to keep running.
Oh, I'm sorry, boys. Hopefully I don't. If Ben needs to UL me.
No.
No, you're good.
It's pure entertainment value. We'll see you after this restart, after you junk the field. Best of luck.
Yeah,
Don't
thank you,
forget
boys.
to choose.
Oh,
that's Rusty Walrus. Always a fun time.
Alrighty.
hey.
For comedic relief.
He's ready. Yeah, he's ready.
Yes.
And this restart is gonna be wild. You have Rusty and Drive-Thru on the front row. Cozy has speed. We saw that in race 1. He just didn't really get a chance to showcase it after spinning out early on. No caution for it. And even so, I mean, looking through the field right now, biggest mover goes to not only that car sitting in P4 right now and Garrett Smithley, but Blake McCandless, both of them up 15 spots from the start of this race.
So they're choosing down the back straightaway here, and how they do that, the blue pit exit cone, since we haven't had to choose so far tonight. Figure we should explain it. You line up on the inside of the cone, you'd be on the inside. You line up on the outside of the cone, you're on the outside. And we pretty much use that everywhere. Sometimes it's a different spot. Sometimes we just use the apron or whatever. But here we go for the restart. Rusty's gone. Green flag. And DT spun the tires. That could open up the door for Wes Graham. Here comes Cozy, 3 wide on the outside. Mom, get the camera. Rusty's leading him by 2 car lengths to turn 1.
A big lead right now, and Cozy and Garrett Smithley both going to try that top side. Both of them a little loose right now. Big wiggle out of your leader in Rusty Walrus as he has accrued about a 2/10 lead right now, but expect that. Maybe not. They're 3 wide for second.
I'm not sure, but this may be the most amount of time that Rusty has spent out in front in the core league, period. He continues to lead. He has led a lap under green on iRacing in the core. Oh boy, and here comes Cozy to the inside. Side by side for the lead off turn 2. Oh man, he almost wrecked it.
Still side by side as they go into turn 3. Cozy trying to take it from Rusty. Now Sean Butler and Wes Graham enter the picture. If Rusty can use this high side, he's going to wiggle just a little bit. Now it's Cozy and Sean Butler 1-2 off 4.
Boy, McCandless really had the lift. He's going to lose 2 spots in the process. At 59 may start to drop back up on the outside of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Cozy is gone. He leads. Sean Butler second. Frisch is third. LaPrade takes over fourth. Champagne a little loose down at the bottom. Oh, man. We're good.
Yeah, definitely not getting a chance to catch your breath right here. Rusty going to migrate down to the bottom of the racetrack. A little bit of contact almost with Justin Champagne. Blake McCandless trying that high line. He's to the outside of Champagne, and now McCandless goes through the middle.
Oh, and he almost takes out both cars there through the tri-oval middle, 3 wide. Champagne drives it in really deep. That ain't going to work.
Oh, man.
No, and Wes gets loose. Great save.
Absolutely. I don't know how they saved it. Meanwhile, back up at the front, look at Sean Butler now trying to get to the inside of Michael Cozy Jr. This happening for the lead off turn 4.
Oh, and Sean thinks better of it. Gets back in line. Not sure if he lost it there on the transition or what, but he didn't hold on to it. Now he goes to the bottom side by side for the lead. You've got Frisch right behind, as well as Brian LaPrade.
And again, I know Frisch and Breyer really feeling the intensity, want to get around these two to build as much of a gap back to Blake McCandless as they can. Sean, again, going to try to get down to the inside.
Turn 3. Brayton Lester, sideways on the apron. We stay green. Single car. He managed to hold on to it. There was no contact. He pretty much wrecked that thing from the exit of 2 all the way to the middle of 3 and 4. Meanwhile, at the front,
still side by side, Cozy holding strong on this outside lane, and it's Frisch and Sean Butler both on the inside. I wonder if we'll see a move from Frisch to try to get around Sean Butler. And meanwhile, Brian LaPrade reeling in this group of 3 for the lead. Coming back around, and again, Frisch trying to help out Sean Butler here on the inside.
great battling once again at the front of the pack. Here at Kansas, Sean not quite clear. Here comes Frisch to the outside. Oh, he turned Sean into the wall. Can they keep it up there? Yes, we stay green. Implications as far as the points. 2 of the top 5 in the championship come together down the backstretch.
Not only that, but that moves one Bryant LaPrade into the second position. Justin Champagne inheriting third. Blake McCandless fourth. And now Ryan Vargas rounds out your top 5 as Sean Butler and Michael P. Frisch have to slot in a little further back, still in the top 10.
Oh, and Frisch's car is all over the place back here mid-pack. Dylan Kem all over him. Ian Plash to the inside. Garrett Smithley just got by. Here comes Kem to the outside, 3 wide. Plash on the bottom, Melillo right behind.
Oh.
And you can see the damage on the right side of that 58. I think he got more damage out of that than Sean Butler did.
Yeah, he's stuck in that outside. Look at Dylan Kim all the way up around the outside of Garrett Smithley trying to get around David Schulthouse as well. Big run from this 9 cars. He's up about 4 positions in one corner.
Man, oh man.
He is making this high side work. Look at him.
Flying. Oh, and Schulthouse about clocked him off turn number 4.
And watch this group still. They're going to be around the damaged car of Sean Butler, if I had to guess, out of turn 2 here. And again, all the way up, ripping the top is Dylan Kim. He has really unlocked this outside groove. We've seen it work, but not to this effect tonight.
Brian LaPrade trying his best to get to Cozy. Looked like he got to the inside there through 1 and 2, but Cozy got the better launch off. And now LaPrade in his tire tracks down the front straightaway. And for Breyer, he's looking for his first win of the Core Summer Series. He's been in the top 10 for every race. His last 3 finishes, third, second. That's between the Rock and tonight.
And great stuff from Brian LaPrade, just the epitome of consistency, but he wants that win. Sends it in on the inside. Again, it's going to be Cozy getting that better drive off that keeps him ahead. But they are side by side here, and I think if Breyer has one more corner like he did in 3 and 4, he'll be the race leader out of turn 2. Here they go.
And Plash had himself a moment going into turn number 1. He about turned himself off the bumper of Sean trying to come up the racetrack, but he sorted it out. No contact. Meanwhile, at the front, 4-car breakaway. Cozy, LaPrade, Champagne, and McCandless, Vargas, and Kem just a little further behind. Here comes LaPrade for the lead. Still side by side. We're having some unhinged Sean Butler moments back in the middle of the pack. Oh man, he about took out Wes Graham, and they were 4 wide back there. We need a replay of that a lap ago in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Oh, trouble, DT around. Off the bumper of Cadell. Going and Case Kallenbach in the wall as well. Caution is out for the second time tonight. So now we've got multiple things to look at. First, unhinged Sean Butler, and then drive-through getting turned around off the bumper of Jonathan Cadell going into turn number 1. second caution flag of the night. Here's the Sean deal. Watch Wes Graham. And right there, they're 3. Okay, now they're 4. Yikes. They sorted it out. But it was behind them. As you see, Fly Guy down through the grass. And, around she goes.
This is the deal between Cadell and DT, and I think Cadell actually had a little bit of help from Case Kallenbach behind. If we can get it more of an overhead look here, you'll see the 82 and the 68, a little bit of contact, and I think that helps propel Cadell into the back end of DT, turns him around.
Field is coming to pit road. The second time tonight. And they do have unlimited tire sets. So we will step aside and go to a break. You ride on board with Fly Guy through the crash. We'll step aside, go to a break, reset the field, and maybe hear from DT as well after the crash. We're closing in on halfway. We'll have your leader when we come back here on FTF. Back here from the Kansas Speedway, getting set for the restart after the second caution flag of the night. Everybody came to pit road, got 4 tires. Cozy, your leader. Bryla Pratt to the outside. Then Vargas, Champagne, McCandless, Chem, Frisch, Schildhouse, Plash, and Malillo are your top 10 for the restart. Green flag. We're back to green.
A little bit of contact a little further back. David Schildhouse, Michael P. Frisch came together. Keep it straight right now. Everybody going to have to negotiate track position here, and I think you'll see a few guys try to rip that very top side, similar to how Dylan Kim had it right before the green. A little bit of contact between Plash and Frisch.
He holds on. Definitely got dicey there. Now Plash really has to back up the corner. He's got Gabe Wood right behind, as well as Case Kallenbach. They sort it out for the time being. Meanwhile, battle for the 4th position. McCandless on the outside, Ryan Vargas on the inside.
And again, McCandless all the way up against that wall. Dylan Kim as well. And Dylan Kim really started to surge towards the back end of that run. He's going to have a huge run on Ryan Vargas. Decides to get out of the throttle instead of pulling any trickery. And now Vargas going to move up to the top side as well. And you really start to see now we have 2 preferred grooves on this racetrack, the top and the bottom.
McCandless to the top for 3rd. He's got it. Maybe. And now he does, and he almost gets the wall. It almost got to Breyer. Here he comes to the inside, looking for P2.
Might be looking for even P1 as Cozy on that outside. Gonna get enough of a run to get back in front of McCandless. Still side by side here with LaPrade, but this is shaping up to be a 3-car battle for the lead.
Past halfway, 23 laps to go. Cozy scooting away, still side by side for second. Canlis gets a little bit loose, and LaPrade able to hold on.
LaPrade again, he has to be careful running that high lane as he has been doing. He's going to drop down to the bottom here once again, but remember, towards the end of race 1, tagged the wall a few times, got close there in turn number 3. But right now, still going to retain Cozy, LaPrade, McCandless as a top 3.
Executive decision. Let's drift back mid-pack, way mid-pack, to around the 19th position. Connor Daly, the IndyCar driver. He's also made a couple NASCAR starts here and there. Running 19th. New to Core tonight, making his debut. Hope to have him with us the rest of the way. He is streaming his perspective as well right here on Twitch. And pulling a good amount of eyeballs tonight. So glad to have the driver of the 22 with us. Hope he's having a lot of fun in his Core debut. Didn't necessarily have the best race 1, but he's doing okay right about now. Meanwhile, back up front for the lead, there was contact between Kim and Champagne, and we're 3 wide for the lead with Cozy, LaPrade, and McCandless.
They get it single filed back out now. McCandless washed up a little off exit of turn 4 there. Still, Cozy ripping that high lane, trying to retain his track position again. This is going to come back to bite him later in this run. You don't want to be running the high line the whole time, and that's where you see maybe Breyer LaPrade taking it a little bit easier right now, just thinking about the end of this race.
It's not guaranteed that we get a caution the rest of the way. We did go caution-free in race number 1. Here comes Kim, though. He has not been afraid to use that outside line. He will zoom around the outside. Here, McCandless, you right on board with Champagne.
And Kim has had a lot of speed. Even in practice, we saw him practicing this outside lane, and he has really learned how to harness its speed right now, as he not only is around McCandless, but he's to the outside of Breyer LaPrade. If Breyer LaPrade can wash up, cannot. Now Kim to the outside, looking for second.
And he will take it to that second position, maybe still using that outside line, and there's the momentum. Put the Dodge in position number 2. He already has 1 win on the season. Trying to pick up his second and would make an improbable run toward the championship title, at least put himself in contention. Try and threat for the title in the final 3 races we have. Eldora in 2 weeks. Then we go to Iowa before we wrap up the season at Atlanta.
It's part of what makes Core so fun, just the amount of different winners that we can have each and every week. Obviously, DK, one of them back at Daytona, trying to go get his second one here today at Kansas.
By the way, not Atlanta. I'm thinking of the normal season. We finished the schedule at Michigan. So we've got the I'm sorry, goodness gracious. The street stock race at Charlotte, that is next week, the exhibition race. We are then off in 2 weeks' time for the July 4th holiday. July 10th, we're back.
Oh, trouble!
Sean Butler through the grass. Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
He will. What a save.
Goodness. Gonna lose a lot of track position and time, but other than that, keeps the fenders on the race car. We're back in 3 weeks' time then with the ARCA cars at Eldora. Then Iowa, July 17th. Core on the birthday. Big fan of that. Then we're off for an explosive race at Daytona the following week, and then we wrap up the end of July at Michigan to end the season instead of Atlanta. And we being told that we may actually just do the Gen 4s at Eldora anyway and suck it up. But nonetheless, new car in third place. It's Blake McCandless. Battle behind them. You've got, really, it's a 4-pack. You've got, oh boy!
McCandless just tagged the wall hard.
Yeah, and he may have had contact with LaPrade, and Champagne about turned himself off the bumper of Michael P. Frisch, all in the same corner exit. LaPrade retakes third. He's got damage on the left front, side-by-side for fourth. McCandless and Frisch, and now Justin Melillo makes his own little chicane down the back stretch.
Yeah, keep in mind, LaPrade, Frisch, and Blake McCandless in this group from third to fifth, all your top three in championship standings. Somebody else who we've seen atop the standings as well, Justin Champagne, to the inside of both of them, trying to fight for the fourth position right now.
They are stacked up right here.
Yeah, and we've really seen a migration towards this high line. I mean, it was kind of sparingly used, but now throughout the field, everybody has moved up there. I don't know if that's just because we are a little bit later in this green flag run or what.
How about side-by-side right behind? Well, it was side-by-side. Champagne just drove it in really, really deep. LaPrade's in the wall again. There's contact. Into the wall. McCandless again, and now Champagne gets turned. Frisch goes around. Vargas gets damaged. Melillo nowhere to go. Caution with 11 laps to go.
And that is going to change the outcome of this race big time. Again, not only are we going to see lots of pit stops, but lots of your contenders here with damage, and it all started with Briar LaPrade tagging the wall, everybody else behind him just coming together. Not enough room for him to figure it all out. We will get a replay right here for you, but that pink car all started with him in turns 1 and 2 here at Kansas.
Yeah, it just stacked everybody up. And then it was on. A lot of damage for folks that had some really fast cars. They're going to have to use faster pairs if they haven't already. So the 19 already in the wall. And then McCandless turns down to try and avoid, gets into Frisch. Frisch gets hit by Champagne. And around they all go.
And Champagne and Vargas coming together trying to get slowed up. Again, just super hard to do when you're 3 wide. You see following Blake McCandless right here. He's going to try to dodge. And again, just Champagne and Vargas with too much momentum. Justin Melillo has nowhere to go. A great job from David Schildhouse to get through that mess.
Pit stops. Once again. Everybody wants tired. And I have a feeling here we're going to have a restart inside 10 to go. Caleb, even if we have to use overtime, this should set up a money end to this race.
It's going to be super fun for sure. Again, with those faster pairs in your back pocket, you've seen how aggressive these restarts have been. Guys going 3 and 4 wide. We haven't had a situation like this where the intensity's been cranked up to 11 this close at the end of the race. Looks like Briar LaPrade going to be able to beat Michael Cozy Jr. off the pit lane.
No, we didn't. He didn't. iRacing gives it to Cozy on pit exit. I'm not sure what the line is. I'm not sure which line it is. But LaPrade beat Cozy to all 3 of them.
Yeah, and even race control comes over and says that should be Briar.
I mean, it's not even close.
Not even.
Well, and LaPrade, remember, he had a lot of damage. He used his faster pair. And I'm surprised that he still was able to win the race off the pit lane. A lot of folks use their faster pair, which means, Caleb, you get involved in another wreck, you could be toast as far as race-winning speed because these cars are no longer tanks.
And you'll see again here the race off, and again, not even close. Briar LaPrade has it. Sounds like they're just going to have to roll with what iRacing has decreed, which is Cozy out front. But just really strange right there.
The only thing it's going to do is impact the choose. Or no.
Oh, no, they're going to give it to
They
Breyer.
are going to put it. Yeah, well, there you go. We're choosing. They're both going to choose the bottom. They're all going to choose the bottom. Well, maybe. Hold on. Oh, don't hit the cone. Oh, boy. More drivers picking the top out of the gate.
Interesting there again. But going back real fast to what you were saying, Jacob, if you're involved in a wreck here, it will probably be the end of your day after using your fast repair. Going to set up for a really interesting set of restarts. How aggressive do you push the line here, not knowing that you don't have that in your back pocket?
We will have 7 laps to go to settle it here in Kansas. Strap yourself in. Remy, a good finish. Oh, Cozy spins the tires. He hits McCandless. Oh, my gosh. Cozy's upside down into the wall. Half the field is wadded up on the front straightaway, including Connor, Daly, and more. A horrific restart crash. And I haven't seen a flip on a restart like that, I don't think, ever.
I don't know how Michael Cozy Jr. got upside down there, but what a wreck off the restart. It all started with Cozy and David Schildhaus.
And that's a lot of fast cars with an incredible amount of damage. Butler, Schildhaus, Gabe Wood, Melillo, Kem, Smithley, Tiller, Champagne, McCandless. Pretty much, if you're not named LaPrade, you got damage in that crash.
And I think it was all just wheel spin for the 99 machine. My goodness.
That might be crash of the year so far. Outside of Alfredo flipping in turn 1 here.
That has to be it up front. I mean, that's
Oh, Cozy has left the session. He's out of the race. I think he already used his fast repair. No, he did not. He just parked it. On board with Gabe Wood here. Hang on.
Oh, man.
Nowhere to go.
And I want to get a quick word in here with the driver of the 99. Sounds like he has disconnected. But, Cozy, after, looking like you were going to dominate that race, what do you think happened there to send you upside down on your lid?
Well, the race control took me out of the lead. I said I won the race off pit road, but they still let P2 around me, and I got wrecked for it and ended up on my lid. So probably could have went back out there, but I'm done. We will be seeing you.
Well, a tough break there for Michael Cozy Jr. Again, really put him in a tough situation there. He won on the outside, and he is done for the day.
So, can we look at this crash again, please?
Sure,
because it almost looks like, if you watch, Cozy doesn't go just for a split second. Schildhaus times it perfect and gets into Cozy. So Cozy said that, he got wrecked for it. Well, he's kind of right. It really wasn't much he could do there. Didn't necessarily time the restart the best, and Schildhaus ran him over for it. So let's reset the field here. We'll get it on board with Cozy first. Oh boy. Like he said, we will be seeing him. We'll be choosing here this time off turn number 2. Let's reset the field. LaPrade is your leader. Justin Melillo is second. Now he's got damage to the front end. It looks like he drop-kicked a watermelon or something with the front of the race car. It's all torn up. He has not used his fast repair, though. McCandless on the outside. He's got damage. He's in third. Then you've got Schildhaus. He's got damage. Champagne, he's got damage. Smithley, I think he has a slight bit of damage. Case Kallenbach is 7th. Keenan Kusin is 8th. He's got some damage after getting into Connor Daly on the crash. Wes Graham is 9th. Ryan Vargas is 10th. Out of the race. Sean Butler a lap down in 24th. Still on the pit lane. Everybody else is still running. Even though some drivers have more damage than others. 3 to go on the restart. Green flag. LaPrade again with a great launch. Melillo can't necessarily get going. McCandless takes over second. Here comes Shieldhouse for third. Let's see how it works to turn 1.
Almost a little bit of contact between Champagne and Case Kallenbach. Everybody else is going to have to figure out a way to get single file right now. Meanwhile, back up at the front as they're still fanning out behind him, it's going to be Blake McCandless who has to chase down championship rival Brian LaPrade for the win here.
LaPrade trying to scoot away and pick up his first win, and that's a clean race car now after he used his fast repair and he was in front of the crash. 2 laps to go. If they make it to the white flag, this race is over. If they crash before the white flag, though, we will go into overtime if we have to. It's a hornet's nest from Champagne on back. Trouble! Harry Tiller around. We're going to overtime. Oh, look out, Frisch! Oh, my gosh.
Man.
And Harry Tiller, with the elite commentary, says, I knew you were going to do that. Why do you have your knickers in a twist? Pants, for those of you Americans.
And just Gabe Wood lifts those rear tires up the ground. Poor Harry. Got some beef.
We got beef.
You know what that means.
Boom, boom,
I think we
boom, boom.
need to get both sides here on the call. Gabe Wood, Harry Tiller. Looks like we have a little bit of contention between you over that last caution. What happened?
I'm not bothered.
That wasn't even that wasn't on purpose.
I'm not bothered. He's just been running his mouth a little bit. I don't get it.
I mean, whenever you jump the start blatantly and then bitch and moan because you didn't get a black flag cleared, yeah.
Oh, why did you all up? Oh my god.
But
I didn't jump it anyway. You can go back and look.
It's okay because he said, "Where was I last race?" And then this is the first time I've seen him all day.
Bro, you were behind me, running me over.
And that green flag run before that was half a track in front of you. So
yeah, because I hit the fence.
That sounds like a skill issue, buddy.
It might be a skill issue. But I do this for fun. I don't know why you're taking it so serious.
I do this for fun, too.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you're getting a bit worked up.
I am perfectly okay. I promise I'll go to sleep with a smile on my face.
It doesn't sound like it.
Are we having fun, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm having a blast. But yeah, I did not do that on purpose. That was just me not judging the gap.
Sounds like a bit of a skill issue.
You got me there.
All right. Well, they got over it, it sounds like, right? We're good?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, fair point, Harry.
See, this is what it's about. Having fun. You can get mad, shake it off, move on.
It's pixels. We're
I still didn't jump that start. I'm not having that.
No.
Hey,
you can have everything, but you cannot have that.
I called you out live for jumping that start. Don't you dare think that you didn't jump it, because you did.
I was full throttle from the drop of the green flag, and you smoked me into turn to the start finish line. So
Maybe I was just predicting the future. Maybe I need to go back and look at it.
All right, well, put your crystal ball away there.
Well, gentlemen, looks like we're going to be getting the restart here soon. Thank you for your time. Hope your beef is squashed for the time being.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. That's Harry Tiller, Gabe Wood, both involved in that last caution there. And again, this is that restart that they are referencing where...
All right, well, it sounds like Caleb's internet died on him again, so we'll pick up the slack here. But here's that initial start, by the way. Where,
we're back. All right, we're cool.
Yep. That's the initial start that he jumped.
And you see Gabe Wood in that black car right behind him.
Yep. All righty, so we're getting ready for the restart. Unlimited attempts at overtime.
Move Gabe to the correct place, please.
Except for the fact that that was Admin Ben, by the way, if you heard that on the broadcast, I'm not sure. Nonetheless, here's the restart, unlimited attempts, except we have to be off the air by 11 o'clock, so we'll see how unlimited this actually is. Green flag, 2 to go at Kansas, overtime number 1. Trouble, big crash, Harry Tiller's around, Rusty, Corey Vervinkt. We stay green, 3 cars back of the field.
Yeah, meanwhile, back up at the front right now, David Schildhouse is to the inside of Blake McCandless for P number 2. Both of them having to chase down Brian LaPrade, who's built up a nice lead. On the inside, though, looks like David Schildhouse should have enough to clear McCandless off 4.
And he will. Will he be able to put one lap together to catch the 19? White flag, no. Trouble. In the wall. Dylan Kim with Cadell and Gabe Wood. And we'll have another caution, and David Schildhouse's race may be saved. He may have a shot to sweep the night in Kansas.
And crazy from Admin Ben on the button. Is able to get that caution out before they take the white flag, and you'll see the replay right here. You see that with Jonathan Cadell right here.
All right, overtime attempt number 2. So that's the crash before the Vervinkt gets turned off the bumper at Tiller, and nowhere for Rusty to go. This did not bring out the caution. This was some 3 feet past the start-finish line. Meanwhile, back here, you watch Goodell. 3 wide, gets loose, comes down. Oh, and he hooks Kim in a hard crash to the outside wall.
Tough break. Again for Jonathan Cadell, who didn't have the greatest rounds last week in Rockingham. Had a little bit of a rebound in race 1, but gets the short end of the stick once again here. Again, just getting loose. It's so easy here at Kansas. Hooks Dylan Kim hard into the wall. Gabe Wood is nowhere to go. And will send us to our second attempt at overtime. And I agree with you here, Jake. I think this really puts David Schildhouse in a great position to challenge Brian LaPrade, his teammate of sorts here in Core.
They are teammates. Plus, it was LaPrade giving Schildhouse a count on that restart as to why Schildhouse got into the back of Cozy, because they were in sync and Cozy was not.
And this is interesting. You see Brian LaPrade all the way on that apron right now. He had the clutch pushed in, and you have to beg the question: is fuel a factor here with these few extended restarts?
I wouldn't think so, because they just pitted what, with inside 10 to go. So they'll be fine unless we do like 4 overtimes, and at that point,
well, we might be on track for that.
Well, yes, but we're also racing the clock. We got to be off the air by 11 o'clock Eastern, which is some 26 minutes from now. So
Ben will be on the button.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't surprised that he didn't throw the caution for the crash in the back of the field, even though it was multiple cars, just because we are on a clock here. So we are choosing this time. Let's see what they do. Schildhouse to the top, LaPrade to the bottom. Don't rule out McCandless here either, but no. I think out of everybody, Schildhouse has the best shot to win, if it's not Breyer.
I think McCandless may have a shot here just if Schildhouse and Brian LaPrade get side by side. McCandless has had a ton of speed. Garrett Smithley we saw lead a fair amount earlier. Wes Graham finds himself up in the top 5. Vargas as well. So lots of guys I expect to see on this very high line. We'll see, though. Pace's car pulling off.
Here we go. Overtime attempt number 2. Green flag in the air. LaPrade gets a good launch.
Schildhouse is with him, though.
McCandless looking, but he can't get alongside. Schildhouse is alongside, just barely. He may have to drop in line, and he will to turn number 1. He loses so much time. He is loose coming off turn 2.
car out of control right now. A little further back, Garrett Smithley side by side with Blake McCandless. Vargas as well. One car down to the apron. It's Fly Guy. We stay green. Still through turn 3 and 4. Coming to take the white flag is Briar LaPrade.
Off turn 4. They'll make it this time. White flag in the wind. One more lap to go in the FTF.GG 150. Briar LaPrade is scooting away, and everybody sitting out back is just going to have to watch that pink car drive off into the sunset. Oh boy, look at this right behind. You got Garrett Smithley and Vargas side by side. That is for 4th, but it's all over. Briar LaPrade, he'll pick up his first win of the Core Summer Series and will win race 2 of the FTF.GG 150 in Kansas.
And what a pair of races here from Kansas is, big hit for Briar LaPrade. No burnout for him as he is a hard crash. Oh man.
Turbo wreck.
That was so much fun. And one car, I think that's Fly Guy, just goes flying in the back, upside down.
Overall, Kansas, I think a good debut for the Core.
Absolutely a good debut here tonight. That was so much fun.
Here are your results. LaPrade, Shieldhouse, McKay. It's the same top 3 from race 1. Are you kidding me? Just in a different order. Vargas 4th, Smithley 5th, Plash, Graham, Owen, Case Kallenbach with a top 10, and Keenan Kusid in his first start of 2023.
And then further on back, Justin Melillo, we saw him up in the thick of things for a little bit. He comes home 11th. Justin Champagne as well, 12th. Drive-through in 13th for Vink, 14th. Frisch, 15th. Fly Guy in the 16th position. Harry Tiller, we saw in a little bit of beef. He comes home 17th. Jonathan Cadell in 18th. Connor Daly, 19th. Rounding out your top 20, Rusty Walrus, who led his first few laps tonight.
The used car lot the rest of the way through. Laster 21st, Gabe Wood 22nd, Dylan Kim, Sean Butler, Michael Cozy Jr. all did not finish because of contact and because of crashes. Well, we'll at least talk with our winner in Briar LaPrade and get his perspective after coming away winning race number 2. So now we don't need to, well, we can bring up the fact that you've come so close so many times at winning the Core Championship in Season 4 and in Season 5. Here we are now in the Summer Series. 4 podium finishes in a row, capped off with a win in race number 2. You've had the consistency down so far this season. What are your thoughts looking ahead at the rest of the schedule?
I mean, as long as we keep doing what we've been doing, we, just stay consistent and, I don't know, just have fun. That's the main thing, honestly, with Cores, just having fun. I enjoy doing this league ever since I've been getting going in this, and I got to get my revenge on David Shieldhouse. I threw away the championship last season, so I really got to get it back and, just be better than David. That's simply the goal here, along with having fun. So, yeah, just got to shout out Ledford Billiard Supply at ledfordbilliardsupply.com. And Cameron Ledford for being supportive as always, and you guys for throwing on the broadcast.
Now, what happened on that restart where Cozy got turned upside down? We've been told that there may have been some restart games that you were telling Shieldhouse kind of sort of when you were going to go, and that may have helped accelerate that contact.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what happened. I'm not going to lie and, try and, sneak around that fact, but it's just a fact of life, But yeah, we handed him a countdown, and I don't have control of David's throttle pedal, so that is a very unfortunate circumstance there. And it was crazy. I don't know. I looked in my mirror and I just seen Cozy upside down, and I couldn't believe that. But that was really funny. I feel bad. I'm surprised you guys haven't talked about the drama yet on Pit Road. That was a late change there from Ben. I asked him to review it. I don't really care. It's cool. We're having fun. But with the amount of just car length I had of Cozy there, I couldn't believe that iRacing gave it to Cozy there. And I think it's because he was on towards the bottom of Pit Road. So that's why I gave it to him. But I knew I was ahead. So I was like, all right, let's take our chances here. Let's ask for a review. and the review went our way, and then we just actually cost Cozy the entire race. So I kind of feel bad, but again, I don't have control of David Shieldhouse's throttle pedal. He's just an unhinged maniac, along with Sean Butler. But we'll give Sean the benefit of the doubt here. He did get turned on a straightaway, and I do feel bad, but it just goes like that sometimes, you know.
Well, Breyer, congratulations. No points on the line next week. We take the street stocks out to Charlotte, so we'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Breyer LaPrade, your race winner in race number 2. Point standings are up, by the way, and race number 2 did not help out Michael Frisch at all. He loses ground to McCandless, and, good grief. McCandless finished third in both races tonight, so he will stay atop the points and kind of widens the gap from everybody. Breyer now sits third. Let's talk with our second place finisher, Mr. Shieldhouse.
And David's so close there, trying to complete the sweep here tonight after winning race 1. You come home just behind teammate Breyer LaPrade in race number 2. You were on the outside on that final restart. Do you think you could have done anything different to get back to him?
He was pretty good. When you're the leader, it's pretty easy to pull away. I got about as good a restart as I could have, I feel like. And, you get to turn 1, and I couldn't really hang with him anymore. So to get a first and a second tonight feels pretty good. That's a good points night. And to lose to Breyer means you're doing something right. He's pretty good at this stuff. So I don't know. I if I had the opportunity to like Carl Edwards him, I still wouldn't have because I think it's illegal. But we talked about it. Didn't do it. It wasn't going to work.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Carl Edwards and somebody, you did have some contact there with a 99 car. What about that restart? You know, do you think you would have tried to go 3 wide knowing what happened?
It was not my intent to wreck Cozy, that's for sure. I was just trying to give him a helpful little boost on the getaway, and Breyer gave me a sort of an indication when he was going to fire, and I was just trying to roll up to Cozy and push him along and get him going. Obviously, it didn't work out, and he ended up flipping. So apologies to the 99 camp and fans. That was unfortunate, but it was a hell of a wreck, so at least we got that out of the way. Not the best move I've ever made here in the core, but it made for some good content, I guess, so that's got to be worth something.
Yeah, great content at that. Looking overall right now, again, next week got the exhibition at Charlotte before a little bit of a break, but points picture right now, points are up, and right now it shows you in 5th, 67 points behind Blake McCandless, but still only 40 points separating you in 5th, and then Michael P. Frisch in 2nd right now. So Blake has a little bit of a gap, but do you look ahead at the schedule and think that there's opportunity there for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 races, and we don't have the drop factored in. Obviously, right now, Daytona would be my drop. So if we just sort of look at Rockingham and Kansas, I feel like I'm probably pretty close to the points lead right now with the drop, and that's a huge plus. That's really good. So tonight was big. This was a big points night to finish 1st and 2nd. That's almost maximizing it, right? So we feel good about that. Go into the All-Star race, like I said, after the last one, make some controversial contact with somebody to win that, to really just keep doing everything I need to win this championship. And before you know it, we'll have the flex car in victory lane once again. We got her there once tonight, almost got her there a second time. And again, make sure you go to advanced.gg, use code HOUSE30 to save 30% on all your advanced GG products. Best gaming supplements and powders you can get out there. Code HOUSE30. Save 30% through Thursday. It's good enough to power me to 1st and 2nd tonight in the core. It's got to be good enough for everybody else too.
Well, David, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on a 1st and a 2nd here tonight. We'll see you next week at Charlotte for the exhibition.
Sounds good, Caleb. Thank you very much. And a big thank you to everyone at Alpha Prime, FlexCar, and everyone at twitch.tv/Shieldhouse. The children were going crazy tonight. They got to see a win, a great battle for 2nd, and one hell of a cool-looking wreck. Again, sorry, Cozy. We'll be seeing you.
Well, thank you so much again, David. That is 2nd place finisher, David Shieldhouse. Good run for him tonight, Jacob.
Let's talk with our 3rd place finisher, Blake McCandless, and still our points leader going into the final 3 races and the exhibition break here coming up next week. So you've got a 23-point lead over Frisch, 2 solid finishes tonight. And, now you've got the final 3 races of Eldora, you've got Iowa, and you've got Michigan. Do you like your odds to maybe hold on to this championship lead?
Again, if we can just rack off some top 3 finishes, again, we're going to have a mistake because Breyer's going to be fast everywhere we go. He's probably going to be faster than me, to be honest with you. So we're just going to have to, do what we have been doing all year, which is just, kind of wreck off these top 3, top 5 finishes. I think we finished top 5 every single race, and we're the only driver to do that, and that's why we're leading. So Eldora is definitely one that I'm kind of worried about myself because I don't feel like I'm very good on dirt, and I bet these Gen 4 cars are insane on dirt to try and get a hold of, and I don't know how the heck to drive them. So that'll be the one I could probably give up the most points here in a couple weeks. But Iowa and Michigan, I'd feel pretty good about that. I ran this car a couple times at the new Michigan and feel like it would translate pretty well. So I don't know, just gotta be smart because we're starting in the back all these races, and we got ourselves track position in this race, and then it kind of got chaotic there at the end, and it just kind of came down to restarts and which lane you chose to be in at the right time. I think we had a really good shot, and then when Rusty was up there leading, which shout out Rusty, led a couple laps, love to see it. We kind of got stuck with some of those guys on old tires and just never really got to overcome that track position. So congrats to Breyer, congrats to David. They were both really, really strong tonight. And yeah, we'll just have to be really strong at Eldora. I think that's the biggest question mark out of the races that are left. And then hopefully I'll be here for the street stocks. I don't know. I'll probably be dead tired after Nashville next week, and I may not be home for a while. So we'll see if we're back for the street stocks at Charlotte, because that would just be fun to kind of go and beat and bang out there. But appreciate everybody who puts on Core. Appreciate you guys for putting on the broadcast.
That is Blake McCandless, third place finisher, still your championship leader. Thanks, Blake.
Thank you, Jacob.
All right, Caleb. Well, I think if tonight proved anything, Core is the Monday night champ, and there's no doubt about it in my eyes after tonight. 2 fantastic races at another new racetrack. We got away from tradition next week going with the street stocks at Charlotte, but tonight's races I think were exactly what we were looking for. 2 fantastic nights, even with in that first race, not a lot of carnage. It was a clean race in that first one. Second one got a little chaotic, and there always is the calm one and the wild one, but man, oh man, good stuff all around.
Yeah, and even the chaotic one, really, we saw a fair bit of green flag racing. I mean, had a few big stints in there. Towards the end, got a little chaotic after that caution came out with 11 to go, but that's always to be expected here. All around a great night, and this group, I think, has really meshed together well to where they put some of the best racing on this service just week in, week out. Every Monday night's always a pleasure to be out here, and no different here at Kansas. And again, looking ahead to Charlotte, that's going to be a lot of fun with the street stocks next week, and then looking forward to the next points event. Core returns to dirt at Eldora with the Gen 4 Cup cars. Again, a lot of power there. Going to be lots of fun to see how that develops, because it's a little bit out of the norm for Core. But either way, all of that on top of a very tight points battle. Again, going to have those drops come into consideration, but even without them, only a 23-point margin, and then again, another 20-point margin back to 5th place. So, I mean, you have 5-6 guys who can really get on a hot streak here in the last half of the season and put together a championship run, all culminating at Michigan, which is going to be a blast within itself. So just tons of fun already this year, and next 4 events going to be no different, I suspect, here for the Core Summer Series.
Best racing, the best drivers, maybe the best schedule, most eyeballs. I don't see how it could go any other way. There's a live look at your points. We talked about it already. Blake McCandless out ahead by 23 points over Frisch and company. LaPrade. How about Ryan Vargas sneaking into the top 5 there in 4th? Sean Butler drops to 6th and is tied with Dylan Kim. Justin Malillo in the top 10 in points, too. How about that? All the way down through your top 20. Well, that'll do it.
And
here from Kansas. Any final thoughts?
I mean, just, again, tons of fun. We had so much side-by-side racing here tonight, different lanes in and out all night long. And again, expecting no different here next week at Charlotte. So hope everybody comes out and joins us.
Want to thank all of our partners tonight that helped put the Core League on, helped put the Core Summer Series on. FTF.GG, Soundhead Entertainment, Matt Liveries, Gabe Wood, he paid for this, I guess. Alpha Prime Racing, Eric Messer Photography, Brayton Lester, Liergis, Splash and Go Graphics, and of course, our series sponsor, SimRapMarket.com. Lots upcoming on FTF. You'll see them scrolling across the left-hand side of your screen, I think, maybe. We'll find out. Nonetheless, for our producer, Zach Johnson, Davin Cornelius, and Ben Easterday at the Core League, and for Eric Messer, taking all of our photos, running the social media for us. Caleb Hoffman alongside me. I'm Jacob Pitts. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the exhibition race next week. Street Stocks at Charlotte. We'll see you then. Good night.